What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, of course, this is the preview of the Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. First game of the season where Washington and Dallas face off. We'll see them again at the end of the season. But for right now, we're talking about the game where Dallas has been down. I remember starting when I did my season prediction show. I told y'all Dallas was not going to be good this year. And rightfully so, they aren't. And understand, I said they weren't going to be good, and that was with Dak. And the fact that they currently don't have Dak, they don't have a running game. CeeDee Lamb is basically null and void because you can just double cover him. You might could just single cover him, and that's pretty much the end of it. Their defense isn't playing well, even though their cornerbacks still pose a threat to mess around and take one back to the house or become very disruptive in the game. I'm not concerned with them. I think that Washington plays a huge role in basically destroying Dallas' season, or helping with destroying Dallas' season. And it's a game that is going to be big. I call this the recovery game. I think Washington is ready to move on. You got a lot of guys who've healed, a lot of guys who got to get some rest, and a lot of guys who get the opportunity to actually play to their full strength and ability, because in Philadelphia, we saw these guys exhausted. We saw these guys sitting there dealing with all types of injuries. Should it be injuries that happened in the Philly game or happened in the previous Pittsburgh game? We saw them slowly deteriorating and slowly getting exhausted as the season wears on. You're talking about this is like they're just marching along. And you're talking about most of these guys have played almost nearly the entire season, and they're playing with major injuries. We saw where Tyler Biotish is basically dealing with 3 injuries in one. So it's a lot going on, but the fact that they're getting themselves together, they're starting to really sit up there and trying to get some momentum going after losing 2 straight. I think we're going to see a more rested team, a team that isn't battling injuries as badly, and a team that's ready to prove a point. This is probably the best game to prove it. Like I said, Dallas is playing very poorly. And the only thing that is going to diminish this, and in reality, it's not really going to diminish it, because I probably would have let it happen as well, but Marshawn Lattimore is actually going to be out this game. They announced that he will be out. I'm okay with him being out in this game because, again, with only the threat of CeeDee Lamb in reality, I'm okay with him with Marshawn Lattimore getting more rest and getting the opportunity to be 100%, because at the end of the day, we're going to need him for the stretch run. We're going to need him when we take on Atlanta, where they got Drake London and Darnell Mooney and stuff like that. Or when we see the Tennessee Titans, who has, even though they traded away DeAndre Hopkins, they still got Calvin Ridley and they still got Tyler Boyd. And I forgot the other guy's name. But again, they still got these guys. Tyjae Spears is another guy that can get out into receiving and become a threat as well. So again, this is a very important game for this team. This team is going to really need to become a formidable team. And like I said, when it comes to Marshawn Lattimore, we don't need him right now. Not for this game. We don't need him for this game. So we can let him go ahead and recover some more so he can be fully healthy and ready to attack when it comes time for us to make the playoffs and actually be in the playoffs. we have an opportunity here to be on our march to either try our best to take the number one spot if Detroit starts to lose in the process of this, or sit up there and see if we can take our number 2 spot back, from Philadelphia, in hopes that we can actually go into the playoffs a higher seed at home playoff games versus going into the playoffs and dealing with away games. So again, like I said, I think this is a big, huge game for Washington. This is a game that's going to matter a lot, and it's going to mean a lot. Like I said, the last 2 games, Jaden Daniels didn't play that well. That doesn't mean he's been terrible, but we do think it's the injury. And a lot of people have been questioning, are you sure it's the injury? Yeah, it's the injury, because we saw a lot of things that he wasn't doing at first. Throwing balls into the ground. We didn't see Jaden Daniels throwing the ball into the ground. Overthrowing guys. Not the best accuracy. Missing receivers. There was a lot of stuff that he wasn't doing early on that he's currently doing. And I do think that the injury is contributing to that. And we have to make sure, there has to be an understanding that, as our franchise guy, he has to be available, but at the same time, we don't want this injury to worsen as the season goes on, because I know people don't say it, but hey, look, in Carolina where he got the injury, we saw what happened there. But you're talking about from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, it did seem like there was a regression with the injury. But again, Dan Quinn has announced that at the end of the day, Jaden Daniels is not injured. He's not injured, and that's what he's saying. So we're gonna put him to the firing squad with that if he is injured, and and he's out there trying to play hero ball, and in reality, it would be probably good if he would sit this particular game, because again, I don't mind Mariota in this game because I just think Dallas is just that bad. So again, we'll see how it goes. There are a few things that I hope don't happen. One, I hope Dan Quinn doesn't show any sympathy to Dallas. I understand he knows the players. I understand that he knows the people that work there. I know he's probably still close to some people that's still there. Should it be the coach or coaching staffs or anything else or players? But I don't want him to have a sympathetic type of view when it comes to this game. Like having a coach, like a good example is Ron Rivera. When you have a coach who has a sympathetic bone for other coaches and coaching staffs and teams and players and stuff like that, what ends up happening is, just like with Ron Rivera, the team would end up eventually coming back and either beat us or come close to beating us. And to me, you don't show any sympathy to Dallas anyway. But again, we can't show any level of sympathy or empathy or regret or anything of that such nature. We need to go out there and understand Dallas is coming to the Fed trap. And Pittsburgh has been the only team to escape the Fed trap. So again, we're talking about teams are coming into the Fed trap, and we're actually putting it on the line and letting it be known that we're not going to have it. And this will be a big thing as well, to show that we're not going to be sitting here trying to have what's going on or what's happening, because at the end of the day, we are a better team. We're a very good team. We're a far better team than Dallas, and I know for a fact that we can destroy Dallas. Even if they come out and try to fight us, I feel that we can still beat them and beat them big. Now, again, no sympathy has to be shown. I do want to see the defense play better in this game. Don't get me wrong. This is, again, they're everybody's NFL players. But this is a game where they can walk away with a whole lot of sacks. This is a game where our defensive front, our defensive line in particular, can actually make the biggest impact in the game and show that they are a formidable unit, especially, again, as we keep marching down this field into the playoffs. We got to show that we're formidable. I do still feel that we can win 10 games. I think that we should probably try our best to win 11. I've heard people say 12. I don't know if we can get to 12. We could get to 12 with what's remaining on our schedule, but if we don't, I'm still fine with it. So, again, excited for this game. I'm excited for what's about to happen. I think we're going to destroy Dallas. I think we're going to score 40-something points in this game. I really do. And I don't think it's just going to be offensive scoring. I think it's going to be defensive scoring as well. So y'all tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel about this game? How are y'all feeling about the vibe of the team? Are you happy that they got that small recovery time that's going to make them even stronger and more ready and less exhausted and in full peak form when it comes down to this game? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.